In the last class, we were trying to solve this particular mass spring damper type of mechanical system, and we have found the transfer function for this particular system. Okay, and if you see, if you arrange this particular system in vertical dimension also, the analysis is not going to change. Do you know why? Because if you are thinking of that mass mg force will work, but if you once again try to do the free body diagram, what you will get? You will get m, and this net force Ft, and once again Bx is the damping force and Kx will be spring force. Okay, so you may think that some vertical mg force is working on it, but what will happen before the application of this mg force, before the application of this particular excitation Ft force, your mg force will be already in balanced form or in equilibrium form. Like you can say mg will be equal to kx no. So your system is already in equilibrium form, whether it is arranged in horizontal manner or whether it is arranged in vertical manner. So what is the displacement is going to be occurred is only due to your net force Ft1. Okay. So these two orientations are actually basically same for analysis purpose. Also, this particular system you can also arrange like this. If I want to say that this is our spring, say, clamped at one end, and here it is damper. Once again the system will be same. Do you have any doubt that this is not equivalent to this one for analysis purpose? Anyone having doubt? No. Because once again, if you will try to draw the free body diagram of this, you will get this. If you displace this particular mass with the force of Ft by displacement xt, what will happen? This Ft will work downward, and this Kx, the spring will be complex in this particular case, and once again it will be upward. And you know that damper is going to damper is going to oppose the motion. So once again the damping force will be Bx dot will be opposed. So all three, and you can say you can also arrange this particular orientation in horizontal form. So all four orientation are same for these analysis purpose. Okay. Now, what we have seen two systems. One was mechanical one, and second one was electrical RLC in series, excited with a voltage source. So we have found the transfer function for both the system, and we have if you have a closed loop on that transfer function, you will find that for any system that was of second order, for any n order system, your transfer function can be arranged into a polynomial form, that is having a numerator polynomial divided by your denominator polynomials, like a naught s to the power n s a1 s to the power n minus 1 up to an, where n is the order of the system. No, not order of the system. M is the order of the system, because you are concerned about denominator only. Okay. B naught m plus b1 s to the power n minus 1 up to bm, where n means highest power present in numerator and should be less than equal to n. Okay, means highest power present in the numerator polynomial should be less than equal to your order of the system, you can say. Okay, why? Because if it will be greater than, if n will be greater than m, your transfer function will be improper transfer function, and such type of system, if you are going to break this particular transfer function, or if you are going to find the given system, such type of system is physically not realizable. This will be hypothetical system if n will be greater than m. Okay. So only for n less than equal to m, your system will be real. Or reversibly, equivalently, you can say for any realizable physical system, you can represent your transfer function as a numerator polynomial upon denominator polynomial. This particular form is known as polynomial form of transfer function. And in this particular case, highest power in numerator should be less than equal to highest power in denominator. Correct? And if n will be equal to m, your transfer function will be known as proper transfer function. Okay? And if n will be less than, if n is equal to m, it is your proper transfer function, and if n is less than m, it is strictly proper transfer function. Okay? Correct. This is just for your knowledge. Now, coming back to our the previous system once again, we have analyzed two systems. One was mechanical one, and second one was electrical system. Now try to find out is there any correlation between these two. I mean to say, if you can represent both the system, dynamics of both the system in similar form of differential equation, you can say that these systems are analogous to each other. Okay? For example, we have found the differential equation for the mechanical system was somewhat like this. We can say m d2xt upon dt square plus b dxt upon dt plus kx is equal to ft was equation 1. Okay? And for this electrical system, if you are going to go reverse along this direction, what you will get? You will get L di upon dt plus I multiplied by R plus 1 by C I dt will be equal to your excitation voltage Et. Correct? Now you want your this particular equation means that you want your equation for electrical system to be in the similar form of that for mechanical system. And here we can see that there is a differential of second order, but here there is differential of first order. So and also integral term is there. So our aim is to remove this integral term and try to get a differential of any electrical physical quantity into the second order. What you do? You will put I is equal to dq upon dt in this equation. After putting this, we have what? L double differentiation of charge upon dt. This q is of course function of time. Okay? Plus R dq upon dt plus 1 by c, and you can say qt will be equal to E. Now if you try to compare your equation 1 and equation 2, you will have the similar form. Here it is the double differentiation of position x, and in second case it is double differentiation of your charge. Okay, so what you can say, these two systems means system 1, the differential equation given for the differential equation 1 and differential equation 2 are analogous to each other, or equivalently you can say, since you have applied your voltage source, so you can say this is force voltage analog. Okay, force voltage analog. This is M will be equivalent to L, and likewise B will be equivalent to R, K will be equivalent to 1 upon C, X will be equivalent to QT, FT excitation will be equivalent to your applied voltage source. And likewise, you can complete the table and you will get this. Correct? Okay. No problem. Now, this was, you can say, force voltage analogy. So now moving, since you are having force voltage analogy, so you can expect that one more analogous system can appear, may happen, where you can apply the current source. So this was your force current analogy. You will keep your mechanical system same, and you are going to analyze your electrical system. Okay? Because differential equation for the mechanical system we have already written. This will remain the same, and we have changed our electrical system for a current source with a parallel element of resistance, inductance, and capacitor. Correct? So here IT will be equal to what? IR plus IL plus IC. You might have solved this such type of question. So what you write? IR will be equal to what? If you are going to take a temporary variable E, suppose you are going to say that the voltage difference between this node and this node is E, and later on you are going to remove this. Okay? The same voltage will be across all the elements, means across this, and across this. Okay? So you will say that the current IR will be equal to voltage upon resistance, means you are going to say E upon R. What about IL? IL will be 1 upon L E T, you can say this is a function of time, E T dt. Okay? And what about IC? C T upon dt. Once again, here there is a presence of integral term, and you want to remove this integral term. So what you will put? You will put phi is equal to E is equal to E will be equal to d phi by dt. In general, it is n multiplied by d phi by dt, but since nothing is given, we are going to take number of terms n of the inductor is equal to 1. Okay. So this is E is equal to d phi by dt. So after putting this value, what you will get? I am going to rearrange it. C d2 phi upon dt square plus 1 upon r d phi by dt plus 1 upon L phi t. Okay? Will be equal to what? You can say IT. This is 1. And our previous equation for the mechanical system was, you can say, was m d2x upon dt square plus b dx upon dt plus kx was equal to f. So now these equation 1 and 2 are in similar form, so you can say that these are analogous to each other because order of the both the differential equation is 2. Okay? So once again you can correlate this. So C will be equivalent to M. Okay? Or you can say M is equivalent to C, and likewise you can correlate all these terms. B will be equivalent to 1 upon resistor. F will be equivalent to I, and like that. You can proceed. I hope all of you have already solved this particular number. Okay? I have solved here for those who have not solved. Correct? Now. Coming to the next topic, that is block diagram. We have already derived the transfer function formulation from the impulse response. Okay, and you can say, and you are going to represent all of the system in terms of block diagrams. So you can say that block diagrams are the pictorial representation of the various tasks performed by the components of your system and various signals handled by your system. Okay. So there are 4 basic components of your block diagram representation. Block diagram, by seeing block diagram, just you can understand your system. instead of means if you are provided with a block diagram, you will be able to understand your system relatively easily rather than seeing just the differential equations. Okay, so this is pictorial representation, and we are having four basic components of your block diagram. First one is your signals. Means signals, whatever may be the input coming into block or whatever may be the output going out of block are represented as a arrow. Means signals are represented as arrow in block diagram. Here RS is your input signal, CS may be output signal. Okay, signals are represented as arrow. Second component is system. Means whatever may be your system, we are going to represent as a transfer function. We have already seen. So system is represented by a block. Okay, so here you can see a block, and whatever what the direction of arrow shows, if the direction of arrow is towards the block, you can say it is the input to the block, and if direction of arrow is out of the block, you can say this is output of the block. So here it is input because it is pointing inward and it is going outward. Correct? And third component is a summing point. Summing point is basically it is notation for it shows the algebraic sum of the signal coming to a particular point. Okay, so here you can say your the point if the arrow shows inward, this will be the input to that particular summing point, and if the arrow is out of your summing point, it will show the output for that particular summing point. So this is just the algebraic sum with sign. So CS means output is CS, and CS is out of this summing point. So you can say CS will be equal to R1S because it is with positive sign, R2S because it is with positive sign, and minus R3S because it is with negative sign. So summing point is also one of the important component of, you can say, your block diagram representation. And last, you can say the last one is your pickoff point, or alternatively it is also known as takeoff point. Okay, before moving further, you can treat this particular summing point as a node, electrical node. Means current entering the node will be equal to the current going out of the node. Okay, and you can take this takeoff point as a node voltage. Means whatever may be the circuit component, node voltage is going to be same. Okay, so takeoff point basically used where you want to feed a signal. You want to take a signal from some point, some output, and you want to feed it back, or you want to feed to some other component. So value of signal after takeoff point is going to be same. It is not going to divide it. Means it is, if you are going to say that there are 3 takeoff points, so it is not going to be divided into 3. Like you are not going to say that RS upon 3, RS upon 3, RS upon 3. Because if I have said that you are going to treat it like voltage in electrical system. If you component various component, if you connect various component means a simple wire, it is going to be same. Okay, so this is takeoff point. Yes, it is also RS. One more thing, you have shown your summing point is somewhat like a cross inside the circle. Okay, and somewhat like a positive sign or a negative sign. Alternatively, for simplicity, you can also show this as a simple circle, and you can remove your cross sign. And this is plus, or even inside also plus and minus, equally correct. Okay. Now, let us take example of your block diagram representation, because in sometimes semester exam they ask give the example of block diagram representation, represent a given system. Think of a given system and represent it in block diagram representation, or they just ask that give a block diagram representation of general, you can say general control system. Okay, so here we used to generally talk about the wind heating system for a classroom lecture or for a given room. Suppose you are having this classroom is a plant, and you want and you are having a wind rating system installed with this. Okay, so what will happen? Here, what will be the various component of this particular system, this room and this wind rating system? You will have a thermostat. Thermostat may have a temperature sensor, comparator, okay, all those elements. You will have a gas valve and furnace. Gas valve will open and the furnace will be on. And you are having this lecture. Okay. So what is being happened? And your desired temperature is your set point. Suppose you want this room to be cozy, and suppose right now it is having the temperature of 10 degrees centigrade, and you want it to be about 20 degrees centigrade. So you will put or set the desired set point. Okay. Maybe a press button, maybe there or something else. Depending, and then what will happen? Your desired set point will be converted into proper signal form, depending upon your components involved here. Okay. Means you have pushed the button, and this alphanumerical value will be converted into a given signal. So this given signal, and within the thermostat there are temperature sensors. This will first measure the actual temperature of the room, and it says that it is 10 degrees centigrade, and you have set your value, means the desired value is 20 degrees centigrade. So there is an error. Error of what? 20 minus 10 is equal to 10 degrees centigrade. So error signal will be generated. It means that within thermostat one comparator should be there, which will compare the actual value of temperature with your desired value of temperature. Depending upon this, an error signal will be generated, or you can say the corresponding error voltage will be generated. This error voltage will act as an input to a solenoidal valve, and which will open the gas valve, and this opening will on your furnace. Okay. Okay. After that, when the furnace will be on, you will have the supply of hot air, and your room will start to be cozy, and your temperature will start to achieve increase towards the 20 degrees centigrade. But what will happen if somebody else meanwhile open the window or open the door? It will again try to cool it down. Means your controller is trying to heat it up, but your opening of door or you can say opening of window will try to cool down the temperature. So it will act as a disturbance, and disturbance here is heat loss with negative sign. Why? Because it is acting opposite to our desire. Okay. So this is a simple example of our lecture hall room or any room. Okay. Equivalently, you can represent, if somebody is going to ask what, give a layout or give a block diagram for general control system, you can have a reference sensor because thermostat is there. So if you have provided with some set point, it means the set point will be converted into particular electrical form, and sensor means in the above example there is a sensor. So a reference sensor. Second unit is your controller, means controller and actuator. Okay, controller means thermostat is providing some means output depending upon your error signal. So it will act as a controller itself. And actuator is what? Actuator is your gas valve. Means I have already said that actuators are final control element in the system. Means for you, your limbs are actuated and your brain is controlled. So this controller is your inside the thermostat, and your actuator is your gas valve. And furnace and room is going to form a plant. Means furnace and in this way room is at a plant, and you will have a output sensor. Okay, this is a general diagram which is applicable to any type of controls. Well, now moving towards one important topic, that is block diagram representation. Block diagram reduction. Okay. You will later come to know that block diagram for a given system is not unique. Means it can have different block diagram. So you need to know some rules such that you can reduce this block diagram in just a single block, and you can find the transfer function easily. Okay. So first of the rule says that if you are having two blocks, means combining blocks in cascade or series, what will happen? Here we are having G1 and G2 in series. It can be represented as G1, G2. Correct? Means you know that here it is G1, and here you can take temporary variable C1s and G2s. Okay, here it is RS input and CS output. You want to form or you want to reduce this particular block, what you will take? You will take a temporary variable RS. So, temporary variable AS, say, and you are going to remove this AS block. So, AS will be equal to what? AS will be equal to, you know that the input multiplied by the transfer function, it will be equal to RS multiplied by G1, and then this AS will act as an input for G2. You can say means CS will be equal to AS multiplied by G2s, and now put this value of AS, you will get AS will be equal to RS G1s multiplied by G2s is equal to CS. So transfer function, you know, G is equal to CS upon RS, and you are going to say G1s into G2s. Okay. Similarly, if means see, these two systems are same but are represented by different block diagrams. Okay. Similarly, if you are having two blocks combined in parallel form, note that for parallel form, because here it is a sum. Maybe it's positive or negative sign, it doesn't matter. But here is to be summer, present summer. So what you will get? You will get G1 plus G2. You can verify with the help of, you can take A1s here and A2s here. So C will be equal to what? A1s plus A2s, and A1s will be equal to what? R into G1s, and A2s will be equal to what? R into G2s. Okay. So if you will divide CS upon RS, you will get only G1s plus G2s. Correct? Third, eliminating a feedback loop. Suppose you are having a feedback loop, this here. Take out quantity, and here I have given negative sign. It may be positive also. Okay. So you need to reduce this. So since this particular reduction is important, so we are going to take it separately. This one, feedback. Okay. How many of you have solved this? Only 3 or 4. Those who have not solved, please try once again for 5 minutes.